he got a sack. Does that get him off get him going now? I don't know whether he needed that motivation or not, but he got it. And
yeah, I'll be honest with you. I really feel like he's played really, really well. Now, the sacks, those are stats in my opinion. I really feel you look at his game last week, man, he's all over the film, played fantastic, graded out as in our Champions Club the last 2 weeks. So, great statistically that he gets that. But other than that, I really feel like he's played great football for us.
I think it was last week you mentioned not playing your best football early in the season. Obviously 3-0 is 3-0, but do you feel like you guys are playing better, cleaner, crisper football through these first 3 weeks?
Oh, I think the things that I see is from a positive standpoint is, it's like I told our kids today, I feel like we're showed up ready to rock and roll. Like I feel from a physicality standpoint, from an attitude and effort standpoint, things that we have said are the cornerstones of who we want to be. I really like where we're at. From a precision and detail, man, we're still young, some young mistakes today still, and we got to be humble enough to grow from those things. And if we can, then match the attitude, effort, and energy that this group brings, at least so far in 3 football games, then maybe it'll have a chance to be a team that has got a chance to be really special down the stretch run.
Freiler?
Yeah, I think really close, honestly. Travis, I thought, he practiced on Thursday, I think more precautionary than anything, and we'll look forward to hopefully getting him back ready to roll. Yeah, he just really got dinged up. It was more of a nothing structurally wrong, just more dinged up last week, but I really do feel like he'll be ready to rock and roll on Tuesday when we get back to full pad practice.
Hi, Matt. A two-part question. A, one of the themes all season has been working in a lot of guys, and it seemed like you dug deep in the depth chart and got guys making plays in this game. How important was that? And B, you talk about it being a game of imperfection. You touched on it there too, but you get the blocked PAT. You have things to clean up, even though you're 3-0.
Yeah, I was probably irate, at halftime just because you're up 30-3, and I see all the things that it's going to cost us when we need it the most. And if we don't clean those things up, then, we can be happy being 3-0. I'm not. I still feel like there's so much proof of who we can be and what we need to become if we're willing to get there. And the fun thing about a young team is you watch how hard they work. I literally, our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice were the 3 best practices maybe I've seen since I've been here last week. And you see incredible growth in some areas, and then the situations are brand new or different guys, and man, you see areas where they pop up and we got to be better. And that's what's really fun about coaching a young team in a lot of ways is, man, the challenges continue to come your way, and you got to be able to correct them. And then the players and the coaches, we got to be humble enough that if it's, man, we got to be better in an area, we got to be better. If it's the kids, they got to be better, but can we grow together as one? So far, I'd say this group's really done a great job of having that humility, really on both phases, the coaches and the players. But yeah, it'll be a puzzle, and it's going to continue to be a puzzle, and we got to keep doing a great job of trying to put it together.
Matt, Isaiah said earlier this week that he loved how the defense was kind of flying around the ball. Seems like there was a lot more evidence of that today. Just what did you think of the intensity that unit brought and how they played? Yeah,
it's kind of like I almost feel like in some ways, this defense is one of the better ones we've had, just from across the board. Depth has helped us for sure. Like they said, we've played a lot of really young guys, and we're playing a lot of guys. And so when you're able to do that, I think you're able to get your guys, especially some of your A players, the ability to be their best in some critical moments. And I think you continue to see that. Readers now had, 2 monumental games in critical moments. Orion Vance makes a huge play. Boy, I still don't know if there's many people playing better than Anthony Johnson. And then you just talk about all the freshmen and young guys that are playing, and those guys are playing. It's not like they're playing late in the game, man. They're playing in the first quarter. And so I think the depth that we maybe have and what we continue to work to create, those things allow us to play at a really high speed with great consistency. So hopefully we can continue to play that way, and hopefully those young guys can continue to grow, so we're confident those guys playing in critical moments.
Coach, what do you think of Hunter's progress right now, wrapping up the non-conference and now as you head into Big 12?
Yeah, I think there are high-end highs and there's some lows that we got to get figured out. The ball security piece of it is something that we got to continue to strain to work on. And yet, man, there's some critical plays that he makes in the football game that we're not the team we've got the ability to be if he doesn't make those plays. And so, I again, all those things are things that you're going to grow with a young quarterback, but I think his confidence that you see, his resiliency, when something bad happens, his ability to bounce right back, those things are super positive. And I think you feel confident and you want to grow with a quarterback like that. And I think that's why our kids rally around him, because he's got the ability to play the next play, maybe as good as, any of the young guys we've been fortunate to coach so far.
What's it say about X, Hunter, and play design, play calling, that he's able to have the production that he's having despite all the attention that he's drawing from defenses?
Yeah, I think that's obviously it says a lot about X. You got to get open, and man, it looked like to me early on they were trying to bracket X in the first half, and you're still able to make some critical third downs, some critical plays and great moments, and that's a credit to X getting open. Then obviously Hunter's faith in X is great. I think the thing that I'm probably most excited about is you had some other guys step up. The play Sean Shaw makes right before half, man, is a huge play. And I think we've all, Sean's the first time healthy in 3 years. He hadn't even gotten an off season until this past off season. And, I think you're talking about 2019, you're kind of like, man, this young guy's going to be really special. And he's fought through injury and fought through some hard times. And now you almost see this guy, it's like all 3 games he's made big critical plays for us. So I think the thing that's enjoyable is you're starting to see a supporting cast kind of form around Xavier. And that's exciting because we'll need all those guys as well.
In the first half, it seemed like every drive was starting at midfield or better. How important was that field position for your offense?
Well, I think you saw it. There was some, at times, offensively, we weren't as clean as we need to be or would want to be. And yet, when you're able to get the ball in great field position, man, that is the name of the game in football. And that really helped us immensely. And I think it allowed us to create really great momentum in the first half of the football game because of great field position. So huge positives for us. And both from, man, I thought our punt block team, our punt return team did a great job today putting pressure on the punter. And then obviously the defense, some of those turnovers getting the ball in a really positive place for us.
You saw Dion probably has his best game since he got to Iowa State. Is he a sort of guy that you can see working his way in, getting more reps coming forward in the next few weeks?
Yeah, man, I think, again, I would say it was Dion Silas's best week of practice. And so when you have a great week of practice, those things just continue to mold into positive things. So you saw him take advantage of his opportunity and reps. And, I've said this multiple times, college athletics and especially college football, it's about the opportunity in the moment. And it's like, man, when you get your shot, are you going to be ready? Well, he was ready today. And I think what happens then is, it's just like Aiden Bitter was ready last week, and he probably played 25 snaps for us offensively today. And I think that's just part of a young team. Hopefully he continues to go down the road he's going. And if he does, I think it could be positive for our team for sure.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Matt.